can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, host of InspiredInsider.com. This is a special episode where I have some amazing leaders and entrepreneurs share some of their favorite resources, so stay tuned.
This episode is brought to you by Rise 25. At Rise 25, we help B2B businesses give to and connect to their Dream 200 relationships and partnerships. We do this in two ways. Number one, we are an easy button for a company to launch and run a podcast for ROI. We do the strategy, accountability, and full execution and production. Number two, we are also an easy button for your company's corporate gifting. We make gifting and staying top of mind to your clients, partners, and prospects simple and seamless and affordable. Some companies even send gifts to staff from a culture perspective. All you have to do is give us the list of people you want to follow up and keep in touch with, and we do everything else from there, from gift selection to the card to your branding on the box. We call ourselves the magic elves that run in the background to make it as stress-free as possible for companies so they can build relationships and run their business. For me, the number one thing in my life is relationships, and I am always looking at how to give to my best relationships. And I've found no better way over the past decade than having them on my podcast, featuring what they are working on and sharing it with the world, and also sending delicious treats in the mail every few months for years. If you have thought about starting a podcast or gifting, do it. If you have questions, email us at support@rise25.com or go to rise25.com to learn more.
This is the episode Favorite People, Favorite Resources. And I'm here with Chad Rubin. Chad, I want you to tell people what your company does and your website. I do have a very nice, if you're watching the video, a nice soft t-shirt, Prophecy. So what do you do? And tell people the website and we'll jump into it.
That shirt looks really good on you. Thanks for sending me that selfie the other day.
You're welcome.
What do I do? I've been in the Amazon space, e-commerce specifically, for the past almost 20 years. I've sold 3 companies, 2 to publicly traded companies and 1 to a private equity company. And I still run an 8-figure Amazon business today. And also I run Prophecy. Prophecy is a AI pricing platform that helps find more margin for the top brands on Amazon that sell directly on Amazon, and sort of like Uber surge pricing for Amazon brands.
And the website?
It's Prophecy, Profasee. So prophecy.com. Profit you could see.
3 questions I have for you. One is favorite books.
Okay. It's like the lightning round.
Yeah. You know, I just love to, these are questions I'm always curious about. And so I just want to ask the entrepreneurs I trust, like you.
Yeah. So many. I got to go back. Well, I got a couple. I'll give you a few, right? 4-Hour Workweek. That was like the first one by Tim Ferriss that gave me permission to be an entrepreneur. So I definitely like to pay respect to that book. It opened the door for me. I like what's it called? Navalmanac. It's the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. And that was also a great book. He's like a business philosopher. I mean, so many. I think we've talked about this. There's a few like fiction books if you are into fiction. I like self-help books specifically.
Like what?
Well, I think like self-help meaning like Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, Navalmanac, 4-Hour Workweek, Atomic Habits. Like all those books are about building leverage, getting your time back, which is the most finite thing in your life, and to increase output. But if you're like, hey, I'm going on vacation, I just want to check out. I really liked Shoe Dog.
Shoe Dog's fantastic. Yeah, I felt it was therapy for entrepreneurs, that book.
Yeah. Another book, by the way, speaking of like therapy for entrepreneurs, was a book called Lost and Founder.
Rand Fishkin. Yeah.
And I think we also talked about this book, To Pixar and Beyond.
Yep.
That was a great book. It was a story about this. It was a story about Pixar and how it got started.
Yeah, self-help in my realm, I guess, how to win friends and influence people sticks out to me is kind of like in that genre, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, Podcasts.
That's a really interesting one. Everyone always is like, "Hey, what's the podcast that you listen to?" And for me, actually, what I do is I ask people for their best episode, the one episode that changed your life or that shifted something for you. So I'm more about episodes. So on Spotify, which maybe you'll put in the notes here on this, I have a Spotify playlist of all recommendations people have given me. I call it podcasts, strictly the best episodes. And so it's not one podcast. It's I don't follow podcasts. I follow wisdom, like really good conversations, very curated.
What episodes stick out to you?
Let me see if I pull it up here. So many are on here. And by the way, it's like such a mishmash of things. Walter Isaacson was on the Lex Friedman podcast as an example. Joe Dispenza on the School of Greatness. Uh, a conversation with Charlie Munger. There's so many. Derek Sivers on the Tim Ferriss podcast. So there's over five. I think I have like over 500 on here that I'm just listening to. David Sinclair and Huberman, Andrew Huberman, uh, Robert Kennedy Jr. on the Joe Rogan show. So I can keep listing on and on. I guess if I was gonna surprise you with one that I thought was very interesting, Jamie Dimon, the
CEO of
CEO
Chase.
of Chase, yeah, was on a podcast called Coffee with the Greats, and it was surprisingly really, really good. And sometimes we have like preconceived notions about people. We have like mental models that we built up about them, and this really changed it a bit for me.
Yeah.
So
Did you not think it was going to be great because it's corporate and they're not allowed to get vulnerable?
exactly, exactly. That was exactly what I thought, and it wasn't any of that. He was actually very down to earth, very different from what I expected, very thoughtful, very wise. Yeah.
Apps and software. I know you could probably go
Wait,
ahead.
sorry. One
Yeah.
more that I recently listened to that I liked, which was Dr. Rick Hansen on the Modern Wisdom podcast. It's also one that I was surprised in.
He's a neuropsychologist.
I think
That's the same
he's
one.
I think
Is change your brain in your life? Is that the
he's talking
same?
about changing your brain. Yeah,
I gotcha.
but I think he's very into Buddhism.
Okay. Yeah, it does say his books include Hardwiring Happiness and Buddha's Brain, Just One Thing, Mother Nurture.
Yeah, I thought he had a lot of wisdom on that podcast.
Next one, apps and software. Favorite apps and software
Uh,
besides
ChatGPT.
besides
Uh,
prophecy.
prophecy. Let's see. I have been using a text messaging software. I've been bankrupt in text messages. I get tons of text messages. I don't respond to many of them. And I'm always digging myself out. And I use this app called Whisperflow,
Yeah.
WISPRFLOW.
Yep.
And it increases my words per minute by like 1,000%. And I use it on my computer too. Like I hold down button and I think it's command and then can just transcribe into anything and talk into it and it'll fix it up and make it AI polished. So I'm using that a lot right now. Robinhood for investing. I'm like looking at my phone here. Gemini is interesting. Oh, there's something called Notebook LM, which not a lot of people know about. You can build a notebook around a YouTube video, for example. And so let's just say you're on YouTube and you post 15 different videos. I can suck those into Notebook LM, which is a Google product through Gemini, and build a internal wiki around your thoughts on the videos. It's very cool.
Any other apps on your phone?
On my phone, Seeking Alpha, which is for investing. Robinhood for investing. And Readwise is an interesting one. I'm going to have to go in 1 second. Readwise is interesting. Readwise takes any highlights that you've made in books and any tweets that you've bookmarked and resurfaces them, because the more you see it, the more you remember them.
I like having my favorite people on, getting their favorite resources and tools and everything else. I'm here with Jason Swenk. Jason, just tell people what you do, your website, and we'll launch into some questions.
Yeah, so Jason Swank, I help agency owners go from F this to heck yes. And the website is agencymastery.io.
I'm always telling people to check out your website, and if you're an agency owner, to join and listen to the podcast. On that note, what are your favorite podcasts?
I love Seth Godin's podcast. I listen to it when I listen to podcasts just because he's one of the smartest marketers, and just I feel like he has that know-how of what we need to do now.
And then just mention your podcast so people could check it out too.
Yeah, mine is the Smart Agency Masterclass. Been doing it for 11 years. You've got us beat though.
Yes, but I may have listened to 300 episodes or so. Who knows at this point? So favorite books?
I like Giftology, just based on Giftology and How to Never Lose a Client Again by Joey Goldman.
Yeah, Joey Coleman's awesome. John Ruhlin, Giftology. One of my favorite people, unfortunately, passed away, but just an amazing giver individual in general. So I love those two books. Joey wrote another book too.
How to Never Lose an Employee
again. Yeah, exactly. Just do what works. He just a never lose a series. So favorite apps or software?
I would say Trello, just because I'm a creative, I'm a visual person. And so it allows me to see things visually in columns and to put cards in. So we use it for everything.
Trello's amazing, and it's free, by the way. Yeah, I've used many tools. I've used Asana throughout the years. I still use Trello for certain use cases. We use heavy on ClickUp. So Trello can be used for that, project management, or whatever you want. So love those. Any favorite apps, like on your phone? It could be health or personal, not just business. Are there any favorite apps that you use on a regular basis?
Slack, I think. What is
Slack.
that? Is that the Cop Out app? But
Yes.
I'm on
It's like
the
if someone says Zoom and Slack, it's like not count, or Google. Yeah. I should just say not including. No,
you should, but really, those are that Slack I use all the time.
Is there something that annoys you how people use Slack? Like I could tell you from me, one, if you need me, please tag me, right? Because I can't be expected to search through every single thread. And also, when people respond to things in Slack, I want people clicking on it so it's threaded in that particular question. Because if they don't do that, it like goes sequentially, and you have to find the answer.
Like someone will post a question, but then they won't hit reply. And they'll post under it, so it's not associated with it. But if one person, that's the confusing thing about Slack. If one person already does, then they can actually reply there. But they make it, I guess that's a usability for Slack. So come on, Slack.
I figure pet peeves with that as well. So anyways, Jason, thank you. Check out his website, favorite books, podcasts, software apps. Appreciate you. Thank you. This is my favorite people, favorite resources episode. I'm here with Todd Taskey, and we're going to go into favorite books, podcasts, apps, software, whatever else he bestows upon us today. But let's start off with Todd, what you do and where people can find you, what website. So what do you do?
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. Thanks to you, we host the Second Bite podcast. So you can go to secondbitepodcast.com. You can go to Tower Partners, where we help founders in the digital marketing space do interesting second bite transactions. And that's in the digital space. Our clients are typically in the 1 to 5 million of EBITDA range that don't want to do a transaction to exit. They want to do a transaction to accelerate. And we've gotten pretty good at that over time. So you can find us at towerpartners.com.
So if you're an agency owner, or you know an agency owner, and they're at a certain level, tell them to call Todd.
Yeah, it's always interesting, Jeremy, because what I hear most often from people, founders, is I didn't know you could do that. I thought if I did a transaction, I was out, or I would have a job, or I would, whatever else. And it's not that at all. It's it can be quite creative and very interesting and very exciting. And we've got a lot of good examples of that. So if somebody just wants to brainstorm a little bit, even if they feel like they're a year or 2 or 3 out, I'm happy to talk to them. I'm easy to find on LinkedIn as well.
I'm in that camp before, learning, listening to the podcast, helping with the podcast. I was thinking the same way, and it's about accelerating, not retiring on a beach and sipping, pina coladas, because most entrepreneurs probably don't want to do that anyways. They just want
not for more than a week.
They want to keep working and doing what they love. So yeah, and I tell everyone to check out your podcast. So if you are an agency owner, check it out, Second Bite Podcast. First question is books. Favorite books in your universe that you love?
Yeah, so I'm a reader, so I've got plenty of good ones. I will say I'm reading this right now called The Master Switch.
Who's the author?
This dude, Tim Wu, W-U, he is a great business author. This is a really, really good book. He's got a couple other ones out. I'm into that one right now. One that I talk about all the time, I've read 3 times now, is called The Same as Ever from Morgan Housel. He wrote The Psychology of Money, which is a great book. He's also got a book coming out, I think in October, called The Psychology of Wealth. But Same as Ever, is a quick read. It's interesting. Housel's a great writer. So I would strongly recommend those 2. And then, I found this book the other day at the library, actually at the library at this place, called Heyday. And it's the history of the 1850s. And my takeaway from that book was, in the 1850s, technology was going and developing at a speed that we can barely contain in our minds. And it's changing the fabric of the way we live and work. And it's always going to, it's 150 years ago, people were thinking the same thing as they're thinking now, And
was that by Kurt Anderson? Is that the same book, Heyday?
I don't know, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
But I will tell you, in the beginning of this book,
it's a brilliantly imagined, wildly entertaining tale of America's boisterous coming-of-age, sweeping panorama of madcap rebellion and overnight fortunes, palaces, brothels.
That's it.
Okay.
It's a great book. It's really interesting if people like history. And even in this book, Tim Wu's book, there's a quote: "Every age thinks it's the modern age, but this one really is." So I think it teaches us in repetition that it's the same as ever ties that whole story together. So anyone that reads Same as Ever can reach out and give me a comment on LinkedIn. We can have book club, because it's a great book.
Love it. I feel like you should come out with the book at some point. Is that in your future?
No, not a chance.
Okay.
Not a chance.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll turn your podcast into a book. So then,
if you want to write it, I'll let you.
Okay, cool. Next, it's the podcasts. So outside of the Second Bite podcast, of course, what are some of your favorites?
2 great ones. All In podcast. If you're familiar with that, if other people
Yeah, of
mention
course. Yeah, for sure. No one's mentioned it so far, actually, but I've heard people talk about it.
The All In podcast, if you're paying attention to anything happening in the future, you got to be on that. It's just really, really well done and really thoughtful. Big thinkers, certainly smarter than me. I learn a lot from that, from how business and politics and finance all kind of ties together. And then the other one is the BG2 podcast, BG2 Pod. It's Gerstner and Gurley, two great investors. And these guys are big brains. They're looking around the corner. They understand investment in a way. One of them is a private investor. One of them, meaning Gerstner invest in private companies. Gurley invest in public companies. They're just smart guys that share a lot, and they're great podcasts. Those are my two for sure go-tos.
Are there any in the agency world? Besides Second Bite, I mean, I know Jason Swenk, Smart Business Revolution.
Yeah, Jason's is obviously is excellent.
Smart Agency, I think it's called.
And then
that one sticks out to me, as far as that goes.
And Deep Specialization.
Corey Quinn.
Corey Quinn. Yes,
yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Don't tell Corey I hesitated on that.
It's okay.
But that
we'll
is
send this to him. It's fine.
We help a lot of guys that are focused in a vertical. It makes them special. It makes them sellable. It makes them exciting, and on and on. And Corey does a great job talking about that and explaining that. So I would, in the agency space, I would put that in there as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
Apps and software. Favorite apps and software could be on your phone. It could be on your computer.
Yeah, I'm not super strong there. I mean, all the stuff I do is basics. I will say, I'm looking at my phone. So Genius Scan, it's an app on my phone. I can scan stuff, right? So like when I travel,
it turns into a PDF or something, or you can email it.
It turns into a PDF. You just literally take a picture of it. It organizes it. It sends it out. It keeps it. It costs nothing, so that one's tremendous. I also like to say I have this one app on my phone that gives me the immediate geography around me and will map out any place that I want to go and get me there without getting lost. It's tremendous. It's also on my phone. It's called Maps, but I say that in jest. It's the thing I use and people our age, I think, can appreciate it. Younger people can't. I can get on a plane, go to visit you in Chicago, or go to Austin, where I have to go in a couple of weeks, or New York City, and I'll never even think about how to get anywhere. And you remember back in the day, you had to order maps and stuff would show up. I'm going to Chicago. I can't buy a local Chicago map here. So you have to order it, and it comes in the mail, and then you have to get directions. Oh my God.
Well, I had Todd, I don't know if you know this, I had the founder of MapQuest on my podcast, and he talked about, people would have to print out 32 pages from the internet of these maps because you couldn't find, you couldn't order the map, and that's how people did it because they, what the technology on their phone, they couldn't just pull it up on their phone. So,
and I'm not very good with sense of direction. I can follow when my map says turn left in 1,000 feet, and your destination is on your right. So I've gotten pretty good at doing that. But that's a game changer that I think is so ubiquitous that people don't give it due credit. So I'm giving it credit.
Yeah. Any health apps or stuff that you use? I know that you work out a lot. I don't know if there's anything that you use on the health front.
Not really. I did get one of those glucose readers. People with diabetes has those all the time.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. So I got it for a 2-week, and you stick it on your arm.
Glucose monitor. Which one did you get? There was a Dexcom, I think, had a.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Okay.
It was $200 or $150. I got 2 of them. I wore it for 2 weeks. It told me when my blood sugar, vacillated.
It's a continuous glucose monitoring. Dexcom is out there. I don't know if that's the one you got.
And that was cool. And it was
G7.
I think it was the Dexcom one.
Oh, Dexcom.
And that was really great. I enjoyed. it's
What
remarkable.
did you
how much-
learn from it? Like, did certain foods spike your blood sugar, or what was the?
I think I learned that I'm pretty consistent in my blood sugar, so nothing to kind of worry about. But when you can kind of look under the hood or get it for $150, you can get that kind of information about yourself and your health, even if it's just to give you a green light on it. I thought it was pretty cool. So I was happy to be able to do that and get a better sense.
Love it. Todd, thanks for sharing favorite books, podcasts, apps, software, and check out Second Bite Podcast, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. It was great to be a part of the show.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing right now. I'm feeling like 100 grand.